Hello, 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 and welcome back, everyone. I'm James.
And I'm Mary. Welcome to another episode of our English Learning Podcast, where we make English simple, natural, and honestly, a lot of fun.
If this is your first time joining us, here's how this works. Every week, James, that's me, and Mary have a real conversation in clear, simple English, and along the way, we teach you new words, useful phrases, and practical tips you can actually use in real life.
No boring textbooks here, no long grammar lectures, just two friends talking and you learning naturally, the same way you'd pick up English from spending time with native speakers.
And today's episode is a special one, Mary, because we're combining two things people don't usually put together.
Ooh, I love a surprise combination. What are we mixing today?
Body language and English speaking, because it turns out the same secrets that make you likable and confident in how you move and act, they also make you sound more fluent and confident when you speak English.
That's such an interesting connection. I can't wait to see how these two things fit together.
So if you're at a B1 or B2 level, meaning you already understand quite a bit of English but want to sound more natural and more confident, this episode is exactly for you.
Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's get started.
Mary, in 1960, two men had a televised debate for president. One of them kept touching his eyebrows, looking away, moving nervously the whole time.
Let me guess. People didn't trust him after that.
Exactly. He lost, and many experts believe his body language was a huge reason why. Not his ideas, not his policy, his hands and his eyes.
Wow, so how you move can be more powerful than what you actually say.
And here's the connection for today. That same idea applies directly to how you sound in English. Today, we're covering 6 body language secrets, and for every single one, we're also going to give you the exact English phrase or chunk that goes with it at a B1 to B2 level, so you leave this episode more confident and more fluent.
I love a 2-in-1 episode. Let's get into it.
Let's start with that debate story. The man was fidgeting, and fidgeting means making small, nervous movements, touching your face, your hair, looking away again and again.
I think everyone does this a little when they're nervous, right?
Everyone does. But here's the problem. Subconsciously, meaning without even realizing it, people connect fidgeting with dishonesty or a lack of confidence. It's not always true, but that's the impression it creates.
So the fix isn't standing completely still like a robot.
No, exactly. The goal is calm, steady movement. Now here's the English connection, Mary. When English learners speak, they often do a verbal version of fidgeting, verbal filler sounds. Like, repeated again and again.
Oh, that's such a good comparison. So verbal fidgeting makes you sound less confident the same way physical fidgeting does.
Exactly. Here's a useful chunk to replace filler sounds. Let me think about that. It's a full phrase. Learn it as one unit, and it gives you calm thinking time instead of saying 5 times.
Let me think about that. That sounds so much more confident than
Say it with me slowly. Let me think about that.
Let me think about that. I'm definitely using this one starting today.
Trick number 2. When you first meet someone, or in our case, when you're speaking English with someone, don't start with your problems, your complaints, your tragedies.
Right, because that puts a negative feeling on the whole conversation immediately.
Exactly. It might feel like you're bonding by sharing struggles, but actually, the other person subconsciously connects you with negativity, and they enjoy the conversation less.
So the goal is talking about goals, dreams, things you're excited about instead.
Right. And here's our English word for this part, genuine. Genuine. Genuine.
Genuine, meaning real, honest, not fake.
Exactly. A genuine smile, a genuine compliment. And this connects directly to speaking English because B1, B2 learners often practice fake textbook-sounding positivity. I am fine, thank you. And you? Every single time with no real feeling behind it.
That does sound very robotic when you say it like that.
So, here's a more natural, genuine chunk to replace it. Honestly, it's been a good day. That phrase sounds real, warm, and it invites the other person to actually continue the conversation.
Honestly, it's been a good day. That already sounds more like something a real person would say.
Try it with feeling, Mary, like you actually mean it.
Honestly, it's been a good day. See, that already feels more genuine.
Trick 3, and I love this one. The author says, don't only know about your own interests. If your friend loves hockey and you know nothing about it, learn a little anyway.
So having a wide range of small knowledge helps you connect with more types of people.
Exactly. And there's a word for that kind of person. Versatile. Versatile. Versatile.
Versatile, meaning able to do or understand many different things.
Exactly right. Good definition. And here's the English learning connection. Many B1, B2 learners only study English vocabulary from one topic, maybe just business English or just travel phrases. But being versatile in English means having small, useful phrases ready for many different topics.
So even if I'm not into sports, I should still know a few sports phrases just in case?
Precisely. Here's a versatile chunk that works in almost any topic. I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn. It shows interest, it's honest, and it keeps the conversation going even when you don't have the vocabulary yet.
That's such a smart phrase because it turns a weakness into a connection.
Exactly. Say it with me. I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn.
I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn. I'm definitely saving that one.
Trick 4 is one of my favorites. There's a story about a woman named Nancy who worked in an old age home. She couldn't connect with a strict, unfriendly resident named Mrs. Otis.
Oh no, that sounds like a difficult person to talk to.
Very difficult. Until Nancy mentioned the rain, and Mrs. Otis snapped back, "Rain is good for plants." Most people would have just felt rejected and stopped talking.
But there was a clue hidden in that sentence, wasn't there?
Exactly. The word plants. The author told Nancy to ask about that one small word the next day, and it turned out Mrs. Otis loved gardening and had even married a gardener. After that, she wouldn't stop talking to Nancy.
So being a word detective means listening carefully for small clues in what someone says?
Exactly. And here's our vocabulary word. Attentively. 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 Meaning listening or watching very carefully.
Attentively. I like that word. It sounds more specific than just carefully.
And this connects beautifully to English listening skills. When you listen attentively to a native speaker, you're not just waiting for your turn to talk, you're catching small clue words, just like Nancy did, that you can ask about.
So a great chunk here would be something like, "That's interesting. Tell me more about that."
Perfect example, Mary. That's exactly the phrase. It shows you were listening attentively, and it keeps the whole conversation flowing naturally just from catching one small word.
That's interesting. Tell me more about that. I really like how natural that sounds.
Trick 5, and the author calls this one communication. Notice that word inside communication. You.
Oh, that's clever. You is literally hidden inside the word communication.
Exactly, and the idea is this. Humans are naturally self-centered, meaning we automatically think, what's in this for me? So if you say, come with me to a new restaurant, the other person immediately hesitates and thinks of questions.
Right, but if you say, there's a new restaurant, you'll love it, want to come? It removes their hesitation completely.
Exactly. Here's our vocabulary word. Hesitation. Hesitation. Hesitation, meaning a pause because you're unsure or nervous.
Hesitation. I feel that word every time I need to speak English in front of someone new.
Which is exactly the connection. When you speak English, using you-focused chunks reduces the other person's hesitation, and it also makes you sound warmer and more fluent. Try this chunk. You'll really enjoy this.
You'll really enjoy this. That's such a small change, but it completely shifts the focus of the sentence.
Exactly, from me to you, and that small shift makes people want to keep talking with you.
You really enjoy this. I'm going to start using that one this week.
Our final trick. The author describes CFOs at a business dinner completely ignoring a waiter who dropped food, even when a potato touched one man's foot. No reaction at all.
That's such self-control. Most people would laugh or say something.
Exactly, and the word for that small mistake is blooper. Blooper. Blooper, meaning a small, embarrassing mistake.
Blooper. That's a fun word, actually. It doesn't sound too serious.
Right, and the lesson is ignoring someone's small blooper rather than pointing it out makes them feel comfortable and safe around you. And Mary, this connects perfectly to something every English learner needs to hear.
I think I know where this is going. Our own English mistakes are bloopers too, right?
Exactly. Every wrong word, every mixed-up tense, that's just a blooper. Small and forgettable, not a disaster. And just like those CFOs ignored the potato incident, most native speakers barely notice small English bloopers either. They're focused on understanding you, not judging your grammar.
That's such a relief to hear stated so clearly.
So here's your chunk for this final trick. No worries, let's continue. Use it on yourself when you make a small mistake and keep speaking without stopping.
No worries, let's continue. I love that this phrase works for both fixing a social moment and fixing your own English confidence.
Okay, everyone, let's practice today's 6 chunks out loud. Real speaking practice, so say them with us.
Ready? Chunk 1. Let me think about that.
Say it again. Let me think about that.
Chunk 2. Honestly, it's been a good day.
One more time. Honestly, it's been a good day.
Chunk 3. I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn.
Slowly now. I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn.
Chunk 4. That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Say it with warmth. That's interesting. Tell me more about that.
Chunk 5. You'll really enjoy this.
With confidence. You'll really enjoy this.
And chunk 6. No worries, let's continue.
Everyone, say it out loud. No worries, let's continue. Keep these 6 chunks and today's 5 words, fidget, genuine, versatile, attentively, hesitation, and blooper in your notebook. So here's your homework before you close this video. Pick just one chunk today and use it in a real conversation in English within the next 24 hours.
And tell us in the comments which chunk you used and what happened when you said it. We read every single comment.
And Mary, we only covered 6 of these body language tricks today, but there are many more secrets to becoming naturally likable in any language. That might be exactly where we go next.
That sounds like a conversation people are going to want to hear.
So if you don't want to miss it, you already know what to do.
Subscribe and we'll see you in the next one.
Limit the fidget, focus on you, and ignore your own bloopers.
Your English is better than you think. See you next time.